Namaskar, hello and welcome to NCERT's special live phone-in program webinar on ICT-Tools. Today we are going to talk about cyber offences against children and women. Well, we hear more often about these cases, about these offences against women and children. What's the level of these offences? How punishable are these? And if someone is witnessing some crime against women or children, what action can be taken against them? How can someone, a third person, react? So there's a lot to understand regarding these offences, cyber offences. So if you have any questions, any queries, please feel free to send us your queries on our email ID, which is training@ciet.nic.in. If you want to give us a call, the number is 8800440559. You're watching us live right now on PM eVidya channel number 6 to channel number 12 and also on our YouTube channel NCERT Official. In the live chat box of this channel, you can write down your queries, questions and share them with us. We have an expert with us and she'll be answering all those questions till 5 o'clock. So we have good 1 hour to have a great discussion on cyber offences against women and children. Let me introduce you to our today's expert. We have with us Ms. Simi Paruchuri. Welcome, ma'am.
Very thank you to you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining us. I'll just introduce you to our viewers here and then we'll begin the session. Ma'am is currently working at CDAC Hyderabad in the Information Security Education and Awareness team. So she knows a lot more than you and me, and she's the perfect person to discuss on this topic. Let me ask her that, ma'am, what are the criminal offences against women and children we are going to focus in this particular session?
We're going to look at various kinds of cyber offenses which people are generally seeing right now, which includes fake profiles, cyber stalking, trolling, then sexting, cyber grooming, cyber bullying. So all these are kind of crimes, which we are going to discuss in this session today.
Okay, so I can see you have made a presentation. Would you mind giving us more details regarding it through the presentation?
Sure, ma'am. So shall we go ahead?
Absolutely.
Can I go ahead now?
Yes.
A very good afternoon to all the viewers and listeners. Today we're going to talk about the cyber offences against women and children. Before proceeding, let me actually introduce you and clarify the term of cyber offences to you. Now, when we talk about cyber offense, an offense as such is an illegal activity which is performed by any criminal. And in case of a cyber offense, it is an illegal activity performed using a computer or a network or digital devices like mobile, laptop, iPod, or any kind of digital applications, using it as a tool or as a target or both. When we call it as a tool, the fraudster makes use of it to attack you or to commit crimes against the victims using the digital devices as a tool. When I say it is a target, they can attack your devices and attack individuals using these particular devices to cause harm, loss, and damage. Now, how serious are these particular cyber offenses? Why are we actually talking about it today? Now, if you look at it, there are a lot of cyber offenses being covered in the news these days, which includes loss of lakhs of rupees for both individuals, businesses, organizations, institutions. You can talk about these crimes at financial fraudulent practices level. You can talk about this crime as malware attacks, as ransomware attacks, and these are system-based attacks which attack the individuals either financially or on their digital devices, affecting those particular digital devices. But we are seeing, it is observed that there is a rise in cyber offenses on the stalking and sexual related aspects also. Now, as the slide depicts, the online stalking and sexual crimes are also on the rise, especially in India. and lockdown has seen these crimes to be increasing. As you can see, the women-centric cyber crimes are on the rise as reported by various National Crime Records Bureau. When compared to 2017 to 2019 itself, there has been a rise, and recent lockdown period, there's been further increase. The news also covers unwanted contacts, sexting, hate speech among the top online risks in India as per the Microsoft research. There's a significant increase in the cyber crimes against women during lockdown as reported by National Commissions for Women data. It says that the complaints have increased periodically, and they include, serious crimes like indecent exposure, unsolicited obscene pictures, threats, malicious emails, account hacking, blackmail, and all. And it involves, the grave part of it is it involves children as well as women majorly. The Home Ministry has brought into light very recently the fact that approximately 93,000 cybercrime cases of hate, sexual exploitation have been reported in between the period of 2017 to 19, which shows that how serious these crimes against women and children are becoming, and how important is it for each and every person, especially the people who are related to children and to children like teachers, parents, children themselves, to become aware about these kind of offenses to safeguard and protect themselves. It is in this context that today's session is going to throw light on the aspects related to cyber offenses, especially related to children and women, which are related to sexual aspects of it, sexual offenses, and which are especially on social media, which are both sexual offenses as well as mostly observed on social media. And we're going to discuss about whether are there any laws which are applicable for these kind of offenses, because they mostly go unnoticed and people do not know whether there is any kind of a law in place for the victims. So we're going to throw light on that particular aspect, and we're also going to discuss upon the penalties which can be imposed on the perpetrators if proved guilty. We're also going to discuss about the complaints, how do we register the cybercrime complaint in case they happen, in case a person is victimized, and what are the kind of documents that you need for registering a cybercrime complaint. Now, while going through this particular information, I'd like the viewers and listeners to understand that the legal provisions, especially covered in this particular slides related to the law enforcing agencies, is for the general awareness and educational purposes. It is not a substitute for professional advice, but it is only going to increase your awareness so that your approach and insight on the topic will improve and increase. Proceeding forth, we're going to discuss about the major offenses as listed out over here, which includes fake social media profiles, cyber stalking, online trolling, doxing, cyber flashing, morphing, cyberbullying, online hate crimes, and online grooming. Now, let us look at fake social media profiles. What we are talking about here is a fraudster. Like, as you can see the picture over here, there's a person who is a male person who's creating a profile of a lady in the name of a lady, though he is a male. So basically, the fake social media profile is an offense wherein the cyber fraudsters create a social media profile using a fake identity like the fake name, address, mail ID, photograph, etc. of the victim without their knowledge, and it is called fake social profile creation. What are its dangers, or what are its implications on the victim once the fraudster commits this offense? It actually affects the victim by spreading fake and false information about the victim, damages the reputation of the victim in a very bad way in case the false information is taken to be true on its face value. It creates a very damaging reputation for the victim. Send false fake friend requests on behalf of that fake profile which has been created, leading to various other kinds of sensitive information revelation or other kinds of money related issues. They also create this fake social media profiles to lure children and teenagers with their fake identity and make them fall into their trap. They make friends and the family of the victim vulnerable to the cyber attacks like phishing, fake links, malware attacks, because they believe the friends and family take this fake profile to be a true one, and believing them to be as an authentic post, they might click on the phishing links or the fake links or click on the malware related links, which gets their system infected or which makes their information vulnerable to attacks and exposes them to the fraudsters. It may also lead to financial fraud, wherein the fraudster, on some pretext or the other, may request the family and friends for money and take the advantage of their fake identity in grabbing the money from the friends and relatives. Now, let us look at the modus operandi, or the process in which a fake social media profile is created by a fraudster. The fraudster, as it can be seen, chooses a fake identity as per his or her requirement. It can be either to commit a malware attack, or it can be to lure children and teenagers, or it can be for grabbing the information of the others for committing social engineering attacks. So as is the requirement, so is the kind of fake profile that the fraudster will choose. It can be an army personnel's profile or popular personalities like a film actor or a musician or someone, or a professional working abroad creating their profile. They can actually create a fake profile on a matrimonial site and lure young ladies also. So these are all the possibilities of how a fraudster chooses his identity of a fake profile. Then going further, he or she creates a profile according to this false identity and contacts the victims. They also choose the possible victims. They choose whom they need to attack or whom they need to target based upon their need, and based upon that they create their profile, and based upon that they contact the possible victims. Either it is women, young women or children or relatives of a particular person or anything like that. Then they proceed on with this particular fake identity created. They send friend requests to the victim to trap them. They post false messages to damage the reputation of the person. Either it's a reputable personality like a film actor or something. Request money or gifts, show false romantic interest for money, try to sell false goods or items. The culprit does everything to earn their trust of the victim through fake account and then trap them for the purpose that they intend to. Either it's a financial fraud, or it's a romantic scam, or it can be, a kind of sextortion related offense, anything. Then the victim is, once the victim is trapped, the victim suffers in various ways, which includes through this fake social medias, which includes monetary loss, loss of reputation and public image, trapped into fake relationships, etc. Now, are there any warning signs for this? The few of the warning signs which a person who is victimized might make a note of or should make a note of are: friends and family inquiring about unsent posts or messages. There might be friends and families who might be asking you, did you upload this kind of a picture of yours? Or did you go recently to this particular place? I saw something related to that, in your account or in your profile. So those kind of inquiries coming in, or the friends of the family inquiring about unsent posts requesting for money. They might be asking you, I sent you recently certain amount which you requested for some kind of urgent need. So did you get the amount? Whereas that was not the request from you. So these kind of things are warning signs that a fake social media profile has been created. in the victim's name. Now, how prevalent are these? A look into the recent clippings or the media news into such kind of cases reveals that a Bollywood playback singer's fake profile was created and fake chat log showing her to be purchasing followers was created just to cause reputation damage in her name. A man who was a manager in some kind of an organization had created an 8th standard girl's Instagram fake profile and was, blackmailing her or threatening her with obscene messages for various kind of advantages. These are the kind of crimes which we have seen and which we are seeing, and the effect of such kind of cyber offenses. Now, what are the safe online practices to safeguard against such offenses? Some of the major practices that any person using digital devices who's on an online platform making use of it for connecting with people should remember is they should avoid sharing personal information like address, mobile number, personal mail ID, their high resolution pictures, personal pictures publicly on social media. Never, these days we see a lot of children and women sharing their personal pictures in high resolution publicly, openly on social media accounts, which can actually lead to various kinds of cyber offenses which will be which will be causing harm to them and which should be avoided. That's what it says. The major thing which we actually advise the digital citizens is avoid sharing your personal information. It can be your photograph, your phone number, your mobile address, your credit card number, your address, mail ID. General information like your interest, your nickname, these can be shared. Your, what kind of movies do you like, what kind of actors do you like. These are information which will not cause any direct damage to your kind of your personal profile. So those can be shared in case you are communicating with people around in the social media profiles or platforms. But when it comes to social media platforms where any and every kind of people has an access to your profile, you should ensure that you're not sharing your personal information which can be misused at any point of time later on. Never accept friend requests without appropriate verification and confirmation. Ensure that when you are actually accepting friend requests which are sent to you on random basis when you are on a social media platform, you are never accepting it until you verify and confirm its authenticity, or you know through a third party that yes, it is an authentic person or the person is known person who is actually making that request. Never click on the suspicious links or download anything until you verify the authenticity of the source or you know the reliability of the source, as this can lead to installation of malware into your digital devices, which can leak your information, which can install malware into your particular digital devices, which actually leads to various kinds of web camera hacking, or your information when you type in your OTPs and all, it can be seen by the third parties. All these things are possible when the malicious link or malware is installed through this particular links. Use different passwords for different social media accounts and emails. This will help in a way that when a particular account of yours is hacked at some instance, at least that does not reveal your passwords for the other accounts which you can possibly have across the social media platform or across the online digital resources which you maintain, either it be your banking online account or your other social media accounts or your email account or anything. At least having different passwords ensures that you are not exposed to the password theft across your accounts. Beware of the security and the privacy features and enable them on the social media accounts. These days, looking at the kind of privacy attacks or the security attacks, all the social media accounts have made or enabled privacy and security features for the benefit of its users, which they expect that the users enable so that they can constrain and contain the risk of security or risk of their private information falling into wrong hands. Now, where can you find this particular, privacy and security features? When you're talking about enabling the safety and security features on the social media platforms, you can go on to this particular link, that is the help desk link, and check for the privacy and security features. What are all the privacy and security features which are recently being enabled? How can you protect your private information by enabling them is all given in these particular links. You can go and have a look at it and enable those particular security features and privacy features to protect yourself. And this is a must for everyone to know. This is available across all the platforms, either it be Facebook or Instagram, where you're managing privacy settings and all is given, or it be Twitter. Everywhere these kind of privacy and security features have been enabled, and it's for the user to actually start using them. Now, let's move on to find out how can we report against this fake social media profile. Firstly, let us look at how we can report against this particular fake media social profiles on the social media platform. When it's in a Facebook, when you notice a fake media social profile, you can immediately go to that particular account, click on this particular 3 dots which are available, find support and report profile, and then click on the appropriate reason that you want to report against this particular profile to report about a fake social media profile. Similarly, for Twitter, you can go on to this particular similar profile, click on the 3 dots and choose the report option to actually select and report an issue or an abuse. Then you can go on to, similar is with the Instagram also, where you can report about a fake social media profile. Now, apart from fake social media platform, users can actually, users have actually been given an access by the government of India to report against such cyber offences on a public platform, on an online platform, which is cybercrime.gov.in. They have also made available a toll-free number which is always available for contact to the cybercrime victims. Now, on this particular cybercrime.gov.in, which is an online government portal, you can actually online submit your cyber offense related grievances in both sexual related offenses, where you have the facility of anonymously also reporting this particular crime. Apart from that, there are various other kinds of cyber frauds, like your financial frauds or your KYC frauds or your debit card, credit card frauds, or lottery frauds, etc., which you can also upload with there is a different section where you have to give your details. But when it comes to women related offenses, the government has ensured that the victim is given an option to even anonymously submit or upload their grievances on the portal, which you can go onto the site cybercrime.gov.in and check out. You have got extensive information along with the FAQs list given over there. Apart from that, the government, recognizing the importance of the cyber offenses in the current times, has opened up cybercrime cells across the nation, in every city and every state. So the list of these particular cybercrime police stations is once again given on this cybercrime.gov.in site in the contact list, along with the names and mobile numbers of the specific officers. So the victims can actually have an access to those particular numbers also. So becoming aware is the starting point for the people to not only protect themselves, but also ensure sure that you are seeing to it that the culprit is actually getting punished, or at least the information is going and the culprit is penalized, and at least he starts fearing that yes, there's some action being taken, I should be careful. Okay. Now, when you are actually submitting an online report, the things that need to be kept with you ready is a certain list of documents which are required for filing a complaint, which includes a copy or a screenshot of the alleged content or a profile, or and the screenshot or a copy of URL of alleged contents in both hard and soft copies. Soft copy should be given in the CDR format itself, and make a note of the mobile number and the other details of the suspect of the culprit. Rest of the information, you can check out the site and you can update yourself with the relevant information. Now, as we have talked earlier and introduced, are there any laws in India which penalize the culprits when they actually cause such kind of a harm? Yes, there are laws which include Information Technology Act 2000, which was amended in 2008, which is Information Technology Act amended in 2008, ITAA, and POSCO Act, which is Protection of Children from Sexual Offences, POSCO Act, which was introduced in 2012. Now, under these particular acts, the crime of fake social media profile, as applicable and as proven, if the culprit is proven guilty, then these, based upon the scenario of the crime, based upon the modus operandi, based upon various facts which will be considered, these are the sections which can be applicable for penalizing the culprit, which include section 66, 66C, D, 67, 67A, 67B, which, and in POSCO Act, section 13 and 14 can be applicable. Now, what are the penalties if proved guilty? The culprit can be imprisoned for either a description of the term, which may extend to 3 to 5 years, and a fine which may extend to 5 to 10 lakh rupees. Imprisonment of either description for a term, which may extend to 7 years. So yes, there are laws in place. There is also penalty which can be charged against the perpetrator if proved guilty. Moving on, let's look into the next crime, which is cyber stalking. Cyber stalking is when a person or a cyber fraudster is constantly monitoring a person's online activities and keeping a track of the whereabouts with the intention of harassing, intimidating, or embarrassing, or accusing, or threatening the victim. They can have the intention of committing identity theft or malware attack, or simply out of revenge or out of grudge, simply following the victim to harass them. It can be any of these particular reasons for stalking a victim. Now, what are the dangers of the cyber stalking? It includes harassment, identity theft, that is use of your particular details, personal information for various other kind of harm, tracking your location to locate you and cause physical harm, intrusion of privacy, which is like tracking you everywhere, trying to grab your details, misusing it against you, spreading false rumors against you, and creating a fear of attacks so that you become depressed and anxious over a period of time, fearing an attack from the cyber stalker at any point of time. Again, looking at the modus operandi of how a cyber fraudster commits this kind of cyber stalking crime. The victim, firstly, he gathers the information related to the victim through various online channels he has got, and starts constantly monitoring the online activities through their social media accounts, and sometimes locating them through their, through their social media also, wherein their location is on, and then physically also following them is also, that also happens. And then what they do is the victim receives unsolicited mails, posts, comments, message, calls from the stalker in various ways. They start continuously receiving the messages, and they know that there is some particular person who's keeping track of their whereabouts. The stalker may try to create a threat in the mind of the victim by sending various posts. I know your secrets. I know what you're doing. I know that I can, when they actually are found, they go somewhere, they actually tell them their location and say that you are in such and such dress. I know what you're doing. I can see you from here. So that creates a kind of a threat in the mind of a victim. The victim is constantly harassed with obscene posts, images, threats by the stalker, which leads to various mental and anxiety related issues. Emotional and anxiety related issues. What are the warning signs which can indicate a victim that he is being stalked? This includes frequent multiple messages over a period of time. When a person is constantly being, sent messages, this is an indication that yes, someone is actually constantly following you. Posts with inappropriate content and has details about your whereabouts and personal aspects also is an indicator, again a warning sign of stalking. Sending repeated emails is again a sign. Constant follow over the social media accounts wherein you can find that particular person's name in across your social media accounts, though he actually sends you post or not. He is constantly, watching over you. So that is again an indicator of stalking. How prevalent or how rampant it is. As this particular clippings show, there have been many instances of cyber stalking wherein the Indian origin man charged with cyber stalking a woman, threatening her with rape and murder. Beware of cyber stalking is on the rise during the pandemic. Vadodara cyber stalkers haunt women cyclists using the fitness apps. A Mumbai 27-year-old man held for allegedly cyber stalking the actor through her social media account. So yes, it is rampant enough. And again, what are the safe online practices which can be recommended? Always restrict your privacy settings on the social media account within your family and known friends. Ensure that whomever you're maintaining contact on the social media accounts are, at least in the circle of confidence for you. They are not the people who can take, various steps against you. To the extent possible, you have to ensure that the circle which you have in the social media, which you want to maintain, is within the confidence limits, or whom you can more or less trust. Then again, do not share your information publicly to each and everyone. Always check the authenticity of the person on the social media before accepting the friend request. Disable your GPS from the device if you are not using it, which will ensure that you are not being tracked. Disable your location on the social media account, which gives the opportunity for the cyber stalker to know what are the possible locations, or what is the location that you can be found. Do not share your personal information, photos, videos, with online friends, and restrict posting all details and updates on the social media platforms. These days in Facebook and all, as you can see, it's a trend that the children, especially the teenagers especially, it's a trend that they update their latest, in case they eat they're going somewhere or doing something interesting, they actually update minute-to-minute posts of their activity. They take it as a pride and privilege aspect of showing that they are in such and such privileged places, or such places that they need to show their friends about and feel proud. This will also expose you to unwanted people or stalkers, which need to be kept in mind, and you should ensure that it's not necessary, you are not sharing unnecessary details. Always be alert about the online comments posted on your photos or any activities. If you feel that the comments are being sent from unknown or anonymous person, immediately block them. You can, when you are actually operating upon the accounts, you also have to take the responsibility of being alert and responsible enough to check what is happening in it, who are actually logging in, who are actually sending what kind of a post, and then take appropriate action of either blocking them or containing it so that it doesn't cause further damage. Now, is it punishable by the law? Yes, the ITAA 2008 under section 67A, in case the offender uses sexually explicit contents to harass the victim in the course of cyber stalking, and the Indian Penal Code also can be approached. Apart from ITAA and POSCO, Indian Penal Code also comes to the help of the victims in these kind of cases, wherein section 354D or 509 and section 11 and 12 of POSCO Act can also be applicable as per the circumstances and as per the scenario at the, in that particular case. So if proven guilty, the victim can be liable to a punishment of 3 years, punishment of 3 years of jail and a fine of ₹1 lakh. If the incident repeats, they will be liable to punishment of 5 years of jail and 2 lakhs of fine. They're punishable for defaming and harming a person's reputation with imprisonment of 2 years and a fine, or both. Online trolling. Online trolling is posting inflammatory, abusive, offensive, controversial, irrelevant messages against you to upset or provoke or lash out or display emotional responses against victims. These days, we can see that everyone on the social media, on an online platform, feels privileged to pass on their comments left, right, center, saying that what the other person does is is as per the is right or wrong. They take that particular capacity of judging the other person on an online platform, and they post inflammatory and abusive content or comments, which is online trolling. When it exceeds a certain limit, it becomes online trolling. What happens? What are the bad effects of online trolling? The victim can be emotionally traumatized, can actually be can go into depression, can actually think of self-harming, can have suicidal thoughts, and can be prone to a lot of stress. What is the modus operandi? The troller sends provocative messages. Here there is a particular trend also. In case the trolling is intentional, what happens is, on a particular group, the troller sends intentionally, the troller sends provocative messages, posts to the targeted person, inciting that particular person for a reaction. When the troller sends that, they wait for the reaction of the victim and feeds on this particular reaction to incite the other group members to actually react to that particular comments, and thereby create a particular kind of an environment which is disruptive, explosive, and further is deteriorated. And the end result is the victim is actually harassed and traumatized as intended by the troller. What are the warning signs? If we see, how can a victim know that yes, this is something intentional, or I should take it as something, a warning sign, and you should, I should take it as a cue and take precaution. Inflammatory and attacking and agitative and provocative posts. When a victim can see that the others are reacting to their comments or their views in an inflammatory or attacking post, they can take it as a sign that there is a troller who is trying to attack them intentionally. And when there are posts on controversial topics to incite anger and reactions in a group, it can also be seen that a person intentionally starts a particular topic which is either religious or which is sexually biased, or some kind of a controversial topic to incite anger and reactions from the others, to create such kind of an atmosphere, which can lead to trolling. Derogatory posts that target specific group or individuals is also a warning sign, which victims should understand that is leading to trolling. Now, what are these how can you protect yourself against online trolling or safeguard yourself against it? First thing you'll have to understand is keep yourself calm in such kind of a situation. A reaction or a response or a reactive response will only further deteriorate the situation, and it cannot have any kind of an a calming effect or a bettering situation in that particular kind of scenario. If required, ban or block the troller and never feed on their bait by reacting to their trolls. You can actually complain on the Facebook also regarding this trolling on unnecessary comments. So that kind of help desk privileges are also given by various social media accounts. Identify and block the troller. Few points traits to identify the online troller are spelling and grammatical. They are so incited in their emotion that they don't actually, a troller does not actually look into the sentence formation or the grammatical mistakes, and they try to exaggerate. They try to take it personal and act entitled. These are the indications that yes, this person is an inflammatory, damaging, and a trolling personality which needs to be either blocked or not reacted to. Immediately complain against this troll to the social media help center, which will be taken care of. Think carefully and thoughtfully, and on your part, the main thing is think carefully and thoughtfully before responding or reacting. And the best way is to put them off with humor and a very kind response with specific relevant facts which are very concise, and reinforce about the no troll policy and a friendly environment among the group. So this has to be your major kind of, your right kind of approach when you are facing a trolling on a social media platform. Other important factor is sharing of videos. Never share publicly the videos. Share your videos or personal content privately, and restrict your privacy settings to friends only, which will ensure that you do not get unnecessary comments which will actually pull you into a controversial environment, which can, okay? The way how you can upload your videos privately, it's already available online, and you can check of how to upload your videos on YouTube for a restricted private group of users privately. Again, when online trolling is actually noticed, the victim has the right to actually complain and seek justice. And in ITAA, though there is no specific section, in certain circumstances, based upon the kind of scenario, section 67 or 67A, in case the offender uses offensive content to harass or troll the victim, can be used. Similarly, in IPC, Indian Penal Code 354D, as is the scenario again, 354D or 499 or 503 can be used, and similarly for POSCO Act 13 and 14, in case the content show victim has been used for trolling or creating porn contents and trolling, that sections can be used. And the penalty can be jail for 3 to 5 years with compulsory fine, jail for 2 years, and jail for 5 to 7 years coupled with 10 lakh fine. Cyber flashing is another major crime which has been observed, especially during the pandemic time. It has been reported. Cyber flashing is nothing but a form of online harassment wherein the unsolicited sexual and obscene images like genital parts and pornographic images or videos are sent to the victims by the perpetrator on WhatsApp or Airdrop feature of the iPhone. Now, what is the intention behind sending these kind of, obscene pictures or videos? It is creating a sense of fear or a danger of attack in the minds of the victim, creating distress in the minds of the victim, causing stress and anxiety, causing online harassment. And in some cases, it is also seen that when the perpetrator sends this kind of a make video calls on WhatsApp, and when they are showing this, when the video call is accepted and when the victim is also seen in the same screen, they take the snapshots of this obscene videos combined with the picture of the victim, and they again send it to the victim saying that we have this kind of photos where you have been watching porn or something, and now we can actually reveal them to the group or reveal them to your relatives or friends, and then cause a lot of damage to your reputation until and unless you start paying, until and unless you start listening to whatever I say. So that kind of blackmailing also happens with this kind of offense of cyber flashing. How does this happen? Modus operandi is the victim receives a WhatsApp video call on an airdrop message on his iPhone. The post or call is from an anonymous person showing their private parts. The culprit may capture your image or video, call and blackmail you for money. The warning signs can be receipt of media, pictures, videos from an unknown number. The content of the media is obscene and sexual in nature. When you are receiving a picture or some kind of media, that is especially the videos or video call from an unknown number, it's a warning sign that you should not be taking it. What is the extent of these kind of offense actually causing harm to the victims? Cyber flashing has actually affected lots of people. It's a new way to harass the women. Gross and shocking, but women call for new laws to stop cyber flashing. A pandemic in itself, lockdown hasn't stopped the spread of cyber flashing. In fact, it has increased. So these kind of offenses are real. They are seen. They are being seen. So the digital citizens need to be aware about it and take action to protect themselves. How and what are the safe online practices? Disable or turn off your airdrop feature on your iPhone. And the process for disabling it is already given. Go to the setting, tap on the general, tap airdrop, tap receiving off. Go to the control center and tap airdrop off. Do not receive WhatsApp video calls from unknown numbers. If a WhatsApp video call is actually continuously coming from unknown numbers, one of the tip is you can ask your male friends or someone else, specifically a male friends to receive it. It's not that the males are not, male counterparts are not exposed to this kind of a offense. They are. Even they fall into this kind of a trap, and they are also blackmailed. But when it is on your phone, you can, when it's on a lady's phone or your phone, you can ask the other person to actually, just see it, or just do not receive the call or block the number. Enable your security and privacy features online, like setting up the screen lock and privacy protection mode by going into the lock screen, going into the settings and locking the screen security. How do you do it is the steps which are mentioned over here. The point is enable your security and privacy features so that each and everyone is not having access to your contact details so that they can contact you easily. Disable your location services when you are posting online. Save the snapshot for the evidence. And when you actually face such kind of a crime, it is required that you keep this screenshot which is required for actually reporting it in the cybercrime cell. Disable auto download media option on your WhatsApp, which can prevent from pictures being automatically downloaded on your WhatsApp or any other kind of instant messaging platforms. Do not click on the images or the videos which are received from unknown numbers. When you're getting links or videos, it's not necessary that you click on each and every video. You have the option of not clicking them and just deleting them when it is from unknown people. Okay. What are the sections and what is the law?
We have got last 3 minutes left for this session to wrap up.
Okay. So I will move on to I will briefly cover a few of the important topics like morphing. Morphing is altering or changing and pictures of people which they post online. It is necessary that the girls and women know about that this particular kind of morphing offense is actually happening at a great scale. It leads to public humiliation and blackmailing and emotional trauma, sexting also. So it is necessary that you understand the safe practices about this particular morphing, wherein they take the pictures which you post online and they try to actually send them back to you and threatening you. And with the kind of scenario or the social structure we have got, the women or children generally fall into this particular trap and they actually become the victim. So it is necessary that you understand the relevance of only posting the required material and the required content on the social media platforms across in the online platforms. And when you are sharing the pictures, it is necessary that apart from whatever tips I have earlier given, when you are sharing the pictures, use a watermark while sharing the pictures, which will ensure that your picture is not a high resolution picture or it cannot be actually taken as it is. The watermarks prevents them from actually, this is a feature which has been enabled by few of the social media platforms also right now, which you can look at. And major thing which teachers or parents should ensure is they should make aware children, they should make the children aware that in case something happens, it is not their fault. It is not the victim's fault that the perpetrator has attacked them just for the innocent act of utilizing some kind of a online platform facility which is available. They should be more available to talk with the children and assure them of their complete support in case of some kind of an offense. So this is a major thing that you need to understand and communicate with the children. Cyberbullying is seen among the children, which is a very, what do we say, an intimidating act wherein the children and women or people in the online groups are attacked with threatening and humiliating posts. So this is one particular crime wherein people should be aware that whenever they are being exposed to cyberbullying, they should immediately seek help. They should not think that they are lacking in something, or they should they should not feel that need of a peer approval to the extent of causing harm to themselves. And it becomes the extra responsibility of teachers and parents to actually look into the kind of changes that happen within the children and the young adults, especially while using the social media platforms or using their digital devices, and give the complete kind of emotional support so that they can open up and discuss and come out of this trauma easily.
Absolutely. Ma'am, just a question to clarify here. When we are talking about the cyberbullying against children, what age group are we talking about? Teenagers, little kids, or 18 plus children?
Madam, these days, if you can see, the mobile phones are accessible to even the children.
Yeah.
So when the children are using these devices, they might not know that they are being cyberbullied. They might be actually been facing this body shaming part of it. Like, for example, a kid is, a chubby. So they might be given, a friend might be just sending the posts of his or her photos saying that, look at him, how chubby, how fat he is and all. So initially the kid might not even know that it is cyberbullying that is happening to him. So what I would say that it covers a gamut of, age group. That is right from the, maybe from the age of 8 or 10 when they start using the mobiles, interacting with the group, to the teenage wherein, 18 or 20. So we're talking about this particular age group where they are exposed to a group of, similar kind of age group children and start interacting with them and face lot of issues on the online platforms.
Okay. All right. So, ma'am, you have clarified most of the things I wanted to ask, and especially the tips you have given if in case anyone is facing these cyber offenses. So,
Yeah.
thank you so much for sharing this platform with us and giving us your time. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you to all the viewers for watching this webinar. I'm sure you have got all those tips, you have understood, and you'll be very careful if in case this happens to any one of you or any near one or dear one of yours. So stay with us, because the next program, Sayog, is also a kind of similar, and the topic is relatable to all of you and even with the cyber offenses. So the next topic is cyberbullying, psychological impact and intervention strategies. Please be here, watch this session and let us know your questions and even feedback. Thank you once again. Stay healthy, stay happy. Namaskar.